Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the studio. We are here having a lovely Saturday. If you're feeling stuck in your career, and I've gotten a lot of emails on innovation career questions, or you just need a little push to kind of reach to that next level, you're in the right place. Today's episode, I'm going to show you how to create what I consider a foolproof career roadmap that will guide you step by step to your dream innovation job. So, whether you're transitioning roles or you're aiming for a promotion or you just want to refine your skills, I'm here to make it simple and achievable. So, stick around. Now, before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And with that, let's jump in to this week's episode. Having a well-defined career path is crucial for anyone aspiring to establish a successful career in innovation. Just the rapidly evolving landscape of innovation jobs and the kind of nebulous nature of it demands a strategy to navigate its complexities effectively. A career path serves as a kind of a roadmap, providing clarity on the progression and the milestones necessary to achieve your professional goals. It helps you identify the critical skills and experiences required at each stage, ensuring you to stay aligned with industry trends and facilitates continuous growth and continuous learning. A clear career path empowers you to make informed decisions, seize opportunities promptly when they appear, and maintain a focus on your long-term vision. What is it you want to achieve in your career path? Now, first up is let's talk a little bit about the roles, because there's this nebulous nature. What does it mean to have a career in innovation? Now, there's multitude of exciting opportunities that cater to diverse interests and diverse skill sets. To build a successful innovation career, it's essential to understand the various roles available and how each can contribute to your professional journey. Yes, you want to contribute to the job, but you also want to see, what does that job give to you? What do you get that progresses you along your career path? Now, these jobs range from product management and research and development to design thinking and consulting. Each role comes with unique responsibilities, required skills, growth potential. But by exploring and understanding just a handful of some of these roles, this is not exhaustive. You can identify where your strengths and passions align, allowing you to make informed choices and strategically plan your career path in innovation. So, understanding the landscape of these innovation roles will allow you to pursue kind of the best segment or the best area that fits your aspirations and sets you on a path for success. So let's talk about one right out the gate, one that's pretty popular in the innovation space. In what the marketplace will refer to this as is a product manager. Product managers in the innovation field are responsible for overseeing the development and life cycle of new products, new services, new processes. They identify the market needs, they define the product vision, they work closely with an engineering, marketing, and other departments to ensure successful launching of the capabilities. Key skills required: must have strong communication and leadership skills. 2, market research and analytical. What's the need? What's the problem that needs to be solved? 3, strategic thinking and problem solving. 4, understanding what it takes to take an idea and turn it into an innovation. Now, there's lots of pros. It's an opportunity to drive creation of groundbreaking ideas, products, services, processes. It has high visibility within an organization and diverse responsibilities in a dynamic work environment. Things are changing constantly. What are some of the cons? It's a high pressure role with significant responsibility. requires balancing multiple stakeholders' interests. You're not going to make everybody happy. You got to be comfortable that not everybody's going to like you. Long development cycles are another con. It can delay seeing the results. You can't, this is not a 30, 60, 90 day. It could be 1 year, 2 years. In my case, at my organization, we have projects that are been going on for 6 years, still in development, and keeping the teams motivated becomes a big challenge. Okay, that was product management. Next up, research and development. This is the one that people typically associate with an innovation career. R&D focuses really on the researching of new technologies, new materials, new sciences to create innovative solutions. Their work often involves conducting experiments, analyzing results, collaborating with other researchers to push the boundaries of current knowledge. Some of the key skills: strong technical and analytical skills, critical. Creativity and innovative thinking. You've got to be able to think and creatively to come up with, well, that didn't work, what could work? Proficiency in a specific scientific or engineering discipline. You've got to be very, very deep. And the ability to work independently and as part of a team. There's a part of R&D where you just heads down thinking, and there's times when you've got to bring in other people as part of it. So some of the pros: hands-on involvement in cutting-edge research, cutting-edge technologies. Intellectual stimulation is another pro, and the opportunity to solve complex problems. Another pro, potentially for significant contributions to scientific and technology advancements. If you've got master's, PhD, and you're very, very deep, publishing can be important to you. Patents can be important to you. This R&D can be a very satisfying career in that case. Now, there are some cons. Research can be time-consuming and resource-intensive. It also has the potential for high levels of uncertainty and large project failures. In my case, I predict that 9 out of 10 projects will fail. Only 10% are successful. That's a best in class metric about if you're not getting at least 9 failures, you're not trying hard enough. You're only doing safe projects. The other con is it requires continuous learning, and you've got to stay updated with the latest developments. Third kind of job career path, an innovation consultant or consulting about innovation. They help organizations develop and implement innovation strategies. They diagnose challenges, propose actionable processes and solutions, and they assist in driving change within companies. The key skills are you've got to have excellent problem solving and analytical skills. You have to have strong interpersonal and communication abilities. You also need a deep understanding of innovation processes, methodologies, frameworks. And you have to have strong project management and organizational change expertise. Now, the pros for being an innovation consultant: you get exposed to a variety of industries and projects. You have opportunities to work with top executives and decision makers that you get to influence. It's a rewarding role, and you're driving transformation and business success. Now, I came from a consulting background. I used to be at Computer Sciences Corporation way, way, way back in the early 90s. There are some cons. The role may require extensive travel and long hours. On just one airline, United, I have 1.8 million miles on United. And to be quite honest, I've done very, very little travel in the last decade since leaving HP. And then even at HP, I did a lot of commercial travel, but half to 3/4 of my travel was on private flights with HP clients. So if you don't like lots of travel, long hours, being away from the family, may not be the role for you. There's a high expectations for delivering impactful results. You cannot fail. An organization is bringing you as an innovation consultant. They are funding you to succeed. So you have to do lots of experiments to get that one that's going to be, and there's an expectation that you're going to deliver high impact results each and every time. And the other con is you got to continuously adapt to different organizational cultures and industry nuances. It's just part of the consulting gig. Now, another career path is what I would call a design thinker. Design thinkers apply a human-centered approach to problem solving that involves understanding user needs, brainstorming, creative solutions, prototyping, testing. Best example, if you're not familiar with them, is IDEO, IDEO. You can go search them on Google. They're the thought leaders in the innovation space on design thinking. Now, design thinkers work at the intersection of innovation, creativity, and user experience. And their objective is to develop products and services that genuinely resonate with users. Think Apple as one example. Apple, historically, going all the way back to the 80s, used IDEO and the IDEO team to help augment the design activities at Apple. Some of the key skills are empathy and user-centric mindset. You got to think like a user. You got to come in with a user perspective. Proficiency in ideation and brainstorming techniques. You got to be able to do rapid prototyping and iterative testing skills. And you have to have strong communication and storytelling capabilities. So the pros are the opportunity to really create meaningful, user-centric innovations. That's key. Involvement in dynamic and creative processes. That's another. Collaborative work environment with diverse perspectives. Now, there are some cons. It can be challenging to balance user desires with business goals. User-centric innovation, user-centric thinkers have a hard time sometimes with balancing with the practicality side of it with the creative side of it. Another is it requires frequent iteration and refinement of the ideas. You're going to build 20, 30, 40 prototypes in some cases. The other is potential for high levels of ambiguity and uncertainty in the early stages. You got to get comfortable with that. So you think about all those careers. Now, those aren't an ultimate list, but okay, so now you're thinking more of like a consulting path or maybe a design thinker, kind of an innovation guru type of path, or you're thinking more of a product, get your hands on, own a product, kind of a product management, whatever it is. Now you need to create a personalized career map for that. And it's essential. You've got to sit down. Don't just shoot from the hip. Take this time, write it down. The roadmap will provide you with a clear way to navigate your career journey, ensuring you remain focused and motivated. Now, a career map helps you identify your goals, both short-term and long-term, and aligns them with actionable steps that you can take at different stages of your career. So follow these steps to craft your roadmap that aligns with your professional aspirations and goals. First up, do a self-assessment. Start by evaluating your skills, interests, and values. We've talked about this. There's 20 years of podcast history, the YouTube channel, not quite as long in the YouTube channel, but we've talked about this. Figure out what it is you want to do. Understanding what drives and motivates you is crucial for identifying potential career paths that will be fulfilling and satisfying. So here are the action steps. Conduct a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to understand your internal and external factors. Next, identify your core values. What do you want from a career in terms of work environment, culture, lifestyle? Next, reflect on your past experiences. Determine what you enjoyed and excelled at previous roles. Next up, set your clear goals. Define both your short-term and long-term career goals. Short-term goals represent immediate steps you can take, while long-term goals outline your vision for the future. So what are the actions? Set clear, actionable goals by using SMART criteria. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Set SMART goals. Break down long-term goals into smaller, manageable milestones that track your progress over time. Regularly review and adjust your your innovation and career goals to stay aligned with your evolving aspirations. Next, 3, research careers. Investigate different career paths. We talked about a bunch of them here, but you want to understand the various roles, the industries, and the opportunities that match your interest and your skills. Key here also is be patient. Don't think you're going to go out there in 3 weeks, find a job. In my case, my first foot in the door, starting my career path, I basically researched and kept my eyes open for almost 2 years before I really saw an opportunity to stick my foot in the door someplace in a true innovation role early in my career. So be patient. But the action steps here is conduct informational interviews with professionals that are of interest. Talk to people. Talk to the organization. Find out, if they got a job that's not quite a match to you, but you want to learn, talk to the person. Use online resources like job boards and professional networks to explore. Maybe you got to switch industries. I've moved across many industries over my career. Identify the required qualification skills and experiences needed. What's the hiring criteria? Where do you have a gap that feeds into your map? Number 4, develop skill acquisition plan. Identify the skills and qualifications needed to reach your desired career goals, and then develop a plan to acquire them. So, enroll in relevant courses and workshops and certifications to build up your skills. Seek out the mentorship opportunities to gain guidance and learn from experienced professionals. Pursue hands-on experience through internships, volunteer work, or side projects to apply and hone your skills. 5, we've talked about this already, but I'm reinforcing it. Build a professional network. Networking is essential for career growth and can open up doors to new opportunities. So, action steps. Attend industry conferences and seminars and networking events to connect with professionals. Utilize social media platforms. We talked about LinkedIn. I'm more than willing to accept people wanting to connect with me on LinkedIn. Send me an invite. However, step 1, tell me you listen to the podcast. You watch the video, that you're a follower. Tell me that in a message, and then I will default automatically accept your LinkedIn request. Next up, join professional organizations, IEEE or ANSI standards bodies if you're in the tech world, or industry trade associations. You want to stay informed, you want to stay engaged. And then ultimately, you need to implement your roadmap and you got to review it. Put your career map into action by actively pursuing your goals and periodically reviewing your progress to make adjustments as needed. So set regular intervals, quarterly or annually, to review and update your career map. Track your accomplishments and setbacks to understand your progress and where you need to work on improvement. Stay flexible and open to new opportunities that align with your long-term vision. You may have an opportunity that doesn't meet a short-term objective, but you see it as a path to make the long-term success. Take advantage of it. Be flexible. So I'm going to give you two examples to illustrate the impact of a well-crafted career map. Now, these stories showcase individuals who systematically evaluated their aspirations, set strategic goals, and adhered to the roadmaps with determination, flexibility, and adaptability. Now, their journeys highlight how a structured approach combined with perseverance can lead to remarkable career milestones. The names have been changed to protect the innocent. So, example number 1. Now, in this case, it was a junior developer who saw themselves as having a vision for ultimately to be a CTO. We'll call her Jane. She was a junior developer. She realized her strengths lied problem solving, leadership, deep understanding of technology trends. And then she established her long-term goal was to become a chief technology officer, a CTO. First up, skills gap. She identified she needed experiences in project management, team leadership, and strategic understanding of business development. She needed to understand end-to-end. Many cases, people in this role don't have a strong financial. They don't have a strong marketing background. They don't have legal and intellectual property and patents, all required skills if you're going to be a really high impact CTO role. And so, her action plan was she decided to enroll in a project management certification program. She seeked out leadership opportunities within her current role. She found a mentor in the technology field and then gradually took on more and more responsibilities into these areas where she had gaps that would align with ultimately the skill sets she needed to become CTO. So what was the outcome? Over several years, Jane consistently worked on her career map. Constantly. She followed up. She identified where her progress was at, where she had setbacks, but she eventually secured a role as a chief technology officer in a known technology-driven company. Ultimately, she used her career path and achieved success. Here's a second one. This is someone that's coming from a completely different department within an organization, but wants to have a more innovation role. So in this case, it's a marketing executive to literally becoming an innovation consultant. So we'll call him Mark. Mark is a marketing executive. He's passionate about innovation and problem solving and wanted to transition to a role that allowed him to drive change. Now, there was a skill gap. He needed to understand innovation processes. He needed to develop consultancy, advisory skills, influence skills, and he had to gain experience in a diverse set of industries. So his action plan, he took some courses in innovation management, he networked with professionals in the innovation consulting field, and he worked on cross-functional projects within his company to diversify his experience. The outcome was that within 3 years, Mark successfully made the transition to an innovation consultant, helping organizations develop and implement their innovation strategies. The example here of these two is by creating a personalized career map. The people in these two examples were able to guide their professional journeys and achieve their goals and remain adapted to the changing environments. Following a similar structured approach can help you reach your career aspirations efficiently and effectively. Now, I know that we're going a little long here. Stay with me. One of the key areas is gaining experience in innovation. It requires hands-on. I talked about this. There's a podcast and a video about innovation consulting as an example, but innovation in general, you got to have some hands-on. And you can do this through internships or entry-level positions, or even stepping down into a lower role within your organization, but on a different team that better aligns with your long-term goals. Internships and entry-level opportunities are crucial as they provide practical exposure to real-world challenges and the chance to apply theoretical knowledge in practical settings. These roles allow individuals to work closely with seasoned professionals, observe the innovation process firsthand, and contribute to meaningful projects. The other example that I talked about is taking a step down, and I did this. I took a step back on a career in the late 80s, early 90s, because I was going into a different part of the organization, or actually a completely different organization, but a role I really wanted. And I took a 30% pay cut to move into that role. Now, within 3 years, I'd regained all that back and was actually promoted multiple times. So you have to go into those roles with a high level of confidence. But finding a role that's more aligned with your aspirations, it may seem counterintuitive. Oh my God, I'm going to take a step back and take less pay. Does that make sense? It does when you really think about it, because it can be hugely beneficial for building relevant experience. This strategic move, it can provide that nurturing environment where learning and growth are prioritized, allowing you to maybe take a step back, less pressure, maybe move out of a leadership role into an individual contributor's role, but it allows you to really master the essential skills and gain valuable insights. So rather than participating in collaborative projects, engaging in brainstorming sessions, or seeking mentorship from experienced innovators, these experiences, these hands-on, are instrumental in shaping a robust foundation for innovation. So don't overlook leveraging volunteer opportunities and volunteer projects. These can provide hands-on experience, often with a lot more freedom and creativity to explore unique ideas. Volunteering for maybe a charity, nonprofit, your industry association, for projects related to your career interests can expand your network and offer valuable learning opportunities. Overall, building experience and innovation is a continuous process that requires actively seeking out opportunities and taking on challenges to grow and develop skills. If someone asks you, the first answer is yes, then figure it out. But by intentionally incorporating these experiences into your career map, you can accelerate your progress towards achieving your long-term goals. So take advantage of any opportunity that's presented. Again, if someone offers you, say yes, then figure it out. And therefore, you're just constantly striving for aspiration. So the key is to document these experiences by creating a portfolio to showcase your skills and accomplishments. This portfolio can serve as evidence of your capabilities and making you stand out in a competitive job market. Now, it's your turn. I've shared with you my thoughts about creating a career roadmap, your map to success, if you're interested in being successful in the innovation space. But by following these steps, you will have created a personalized career map tailored to your individual goals and your aspirations. Remember to review and update it regularly as your priorities and your life circumstances will change. Use it as a guide to navigate your professional journey, staying focused on your long-term vision while remaining adaptable to new opportunities as they emerge. Now, with this roadmap in hand, you are well equipped to building a successful career in innovation. So stay determined, stay motivated, and never stop learning. Cheers to your future success.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.